Welcome back to Campbell's Coins. I'm going to start off this video where I left off on a previous video. And that previous video is titled How to Not Ship Your Coins. And it was basically a public service announcement from a package I had received that was packaged fine on the outside, but on the inside there was nothing to protect the coins. All the coins, the rounds had spilled out and were just clanging on to each other. This whole box had just this little bit of bubble wrap in it, and I would say about 3/4 of the box was just empty space and should have been filled with some other type of media, whether it just be wrapping paper or packing paper, bubble wrap, styrofoam peanuts, what have you. It should have been completely filled so that there was no void within that package. So for this video, I'm going to go over how you can ship out your coins and how to properly do so. And I don't care if the shipment is only $30 or $500. Everything should be packaged so that the coins or bars, what have you, doesn't matter if it's gold, silver, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's generic or premium. It should all be packaged well so that it doesn't get damaged within shipment. I like to baby my silver. I like to baby my coins. And when I receive a silver piece or a gold piece from someone else and it is just junked out, and nothing in the ad mentioned that, I'm really disappointed. And that could be another topic for another time, where I'm just really OCD about how well I protect my stuff and how I feel when my stuff gets shipped out, I would want that person to receive it as I had cared for it. But let's just get into this right now, and that is how to ship out coins, whether it's gold, silver, gold bars, silver bars, what have you, how to ship out and how to protect your stuff. Coming up. All right, let's get into this. The first important part is anonymity. Anonymity is key. You don't want to announce to the world this package has gold and or silver in it, but how can you do that? The first step to avoid theft and other problems is to keep the shipping label as anonymous as possible. And how can you do that? You change the name. You change the name of where it's shipping from. You can change the name of where it's shipping to. Change it to something that has nothing to do with what you're shipping or your name. For instance, my channel name, my Instagram channel, and my business is Campbell's Coins. Now, if I were to send a package and one could shake it, and this would never happen, but they could hear coins jingling around inside, or it feels incredibly heavy, someone might assume, hey man, there's gotta be something in here that I wanna steal. So what do? I just change my name to Campbell's. I don't have coins in there. I don't have silver, gold. I don't have nothing. It's just Campbell's. And there is another business that I deal with on a semi-regular basis, and they changed their name to this. I don't know if you can see that. It is Golden State Machine Bearings. I think that's genius. It's very close to what their actual name is. And machine bearings are heavy. So if you're shipping a box that has a lot of heft to it, it would make sense. If you were to say Golden State Pillows and the box weighs a ton, doesn't really add up. But Golden State Machine Bearings, that is perfect. I changed my ship to and ship from name so that it is completely unsuspecting. And even though I accidentally put in my shipping address Campbell's Coins, this same one, Golden State Machine Bearings, they changed my name to Campbell's C. So they did it for me, and it was completely my bad, but they changed it so that it was also unsuspecting. And I really appreciate that company going forward and just making a little slight change so that, you know, the probability of theft goes down a little bit. Another sign of anonymity, besides the label and changing the name, is wrapping up the product so no one can hear what is inside. If I shake a package and it sounds like a bunch of coins or gold and or silver clanking around, that package may not make it to its destination, especially if that post office worker or somebody else that comes over to your door and takes the package looks at the label and sees, oh, it's from Campbell's Coins. I think I'm gonna take this one. If you wrap up the product well, the sound of metal clanking won't emit from the package. And that was the point of the previous video that I had done on how to not ship. I had received 30 ounces of silver that was not wrapped up at all. It was just stuck inside this package, this priority small box. And all of them were clanking around in there, getting dinged up, scratched. Almost every single round, and even the bars had huge dings and dents into the rims. Some of the fields and on the obverse and reverse were scratched up. I would be more pissed if it was premium silver, but because it isn't, it was just generic silver, and I actually got it below spot. I didn't haggle with the guy, I just accepted it, but that's what I get for... Actually, no one should get that. That should never happen to any person at all, no matter what they spend. I mean, I spent $450 with the guy, and that's how he treated my product coming to me. If someone's spending that amount of money, I think you should put a little bit of care into the product. But even if the product was a $30 coin, the same level of care should go into it so that nothing happens to it. And this brings us to the second important thing for shipping, and that is to protect the coin or bar. And in order to know how to protect the coin, you must know how not to ship a coin or bar. Here's an image of a mercury dime I received in the mail. Right off the bat, it fails the anonymity portion of this product. The coin's outline shows through the envelope. Not only does it show off the coin's shape, but the coin could wear through this part of the paper and rip through. Additionally, the same coin was taped to one side of an index card. You don't want the glue of the tape to touch the coin at all. Just because you don't mind tape residue on the coin does not mean that somebody else does. If you're shipping a coin in an envelope and the other person does not mind, it's not a way that I would recommend, but sometimes the value of the coin is lower than the price of the postage. For instance, like a mercury dime or a Roosevelt silver dime. I had gotten those off of like a penny auction. I think I won it for, I got it, or it was like a buy it now, and there was a $3 coupon, so I got it for a penny. So I understand, but you could still ship it in a little Mylar flip like this. You can put the coin inside, it protects it, and then you can tape it to one side of an index card and then cover it up with another. And then while that is in the center, you can just staple around so that it doesn't come out of this, and then put it in the envelope. That does a few things. It will eliminate any outline that the coin could possibly show on the outside of the paper of the envelope, and it keeps the tape residue off the coin. If that had been a BU mercury dime, I would have been pissed. I mean, that coin should have been well protected. I understand it's not, but it was still... I mean, just because you don't give a crap about that, don't assume that the other person doesn't. I would like to receive stuff as I treat my own things, and I treat my things very well. And because of that, I am finding that I have to reduce who I buy from. I'm not saying that they're bad people, but I just won't buy from certain people just because I know how they ship the product and how it's not shipped well. And so it's like, why do I want to get a junked out coin when I can go buy from somebody else? Maybe I paid a little bit more, but the coin's in great shape. And that to me is very important. If you're shipping coins in a tube like this, that's great. I mean, it protects the coin, but let's just take a look. It snaps on and it's pretty tight on there, but do you see how there's a void? There's space between where the coin is and the top of this. That's about a 1/2 inch of space where these coins can jostle about. So what I like to do is I like to fill that void, and I'll use like a packing peanut and stuff that in there. Now there's no sound. There's no coins rattling around. There's no coins damaging one another. They're safe and sound in there. But that's not where I stop. I will also tape this down on each side, going from one side to another, and then cross it so that this has no opportunity to pop open in shipment. I have had 2 boxes, including the latest one, where these have popped open and the coins spilled out. And I can tell you right now that going through the post office, those coins will be very dinged up. They will be very scratched up, and you're not going to be able to sell them as a BU product after that. You may get a little bit above spot for them if you're selling to someone else on Instagram or eBay, but you are just not going to get that BU premium anymore. And my third important point to how to ship off coins is to package it like it's going to be filmed and put on the internet. The previous video that I put out kind of highlights a very bad packaging job. I've had incredibly good packaging jobs from the silver and coin community, and typically that's how it is. For instance, this order right here. So I had ordered some constitutional silver from somebody. These are what most people will consider junk silver. These were not BU. These were used coins, but this person still took the time to put them in little capsules like this and to fill up the space with bubble wrap. These coins can't jostle about. Same thing with this package of quarters. I got $2 or $2.50 worth of quarters in here. He filled up the void with bubble wrap so that these coins shouldn't be shaken around, but he had put them all into this bubble wrap and then wrapped that up with this one and then placed it into a bubble wrap envelope. So these coins were very secure within this and weren't going anywhere. This is what I got for just buying junk silver, and I really don't like that term. Oh, you got me some mercury dimes in there. That's kind of cool. See that? So you don't have to go to this kind of extreme where you have to go out and buy containers like this. There are other ways to ship these coins that really, you don't have to go out and pay like $10 for each type of container, like nickel container, dime container, quarters, etc., etc. Here I have just a Ziploc bag and a bunch of clad quarters. And what I'm going to do is show you how you can ship these coins. Right. So we have our, let's call this our junk silver. Let's say we were shipping this out to somebody. We didn't have these nice little containers to send to somebody. That's totally fine. You can get all the coins in there like that, seal it so there's no air, and then proceed to wrap it so that these suckers are in there tight and not moving around. And then you can just tape this so that these coins are not jostling about when they're in any sort of package. And I did like a really crappy job just demonstrating that to you all, but you can kind of see if you just wrap this up tight, the coins will stay in place. And not going anywhere. And then I would just wrap this up with some sort of packing tape so that they are in there secure. So that's just an alternative for not having to use a container like this. You can do the same thing with bubble wrap. Put them in bubble wrap and then wrap up that bubble wrap so that they can't jostle around. I wouldn't put them like in a ball. I would have them kind of stacked like this so that they have no chance of, scraping up against one another. So when you send stuff, there should be no loose items. You do not want a kilo of silver to be sliding around in a very large box. You don't want it to be sliding around in any sort of box or container. Any jostling could allow that item to rip through the package. This is the same for coins for that matter. Loose coins will be a loud indicator of what's in the box, and it could be damaged as they jingle about. You want to wrap up whatever product you're sending securely, and if there is any void within that box, fill it up. If your package looks like this, where you have bubble wrap in just one corner, and then you have all this empty space here, that's not good. All of this space here should be filled so that whatever is inside this has no opportunity to be shaken about. These items should be surrounded so that it is almost like it's suspended in the center. So what I like to do is I like to put a layer at the bottom of the box, put my item in, stacks material on either side of it, and then put a layer at the top so that those coins can't go to this side, or the bottom, or the top. They're kind of just suspended within the middle of this package. I will recycle these. I will tear these up, packages that I receive from people. If I don't use these to ship out to somebody else, I will tear them up and use them in the box. Everyone gets this kind of packing material. Everyone gets packages from Amazon. They put packing material in that stuff. You can keep it. And then finally, after you've packaged everything up for that person, you want to print out that shipping label and take a picture of it and send it off to the buyer. This is a very small portion of how to ship out something, but it is probably one of the most important. The most important because the buyer doesn't want to know that they just got screwed. They want that information immediately. And if you're not shipping out within 1 business day, it should be shipped out within 2 business days. And if you aren't doing that, you should be talking with the buyer and telling them why you aren't getting that product out immediately. Do you have something else going on? Are you out of town? I've been out of town when something on my eBay has sold, and I just let them know, hey, I'll be back in X amount of days. Just so you know, everything will be shipped out and I'll send out tracking. They had no problem with that. If you just communicate with the person and let them know what's going on, everything should be just fine. I think that covers it for the most part of how to ship out product. I always thought this was really self-explanatory, but I understand that there are individuals out there who don't really know or don't really fully think about everything that goes into shipping out something, and that's totally fine. But there really shouldn't be an excuse if you do know how to ship out product. Comment below if you think I've missed something. If you would like to add something, I would appreciate that. If you thought I did a good job, comment below, tell me. Hit that freaking like button, people. And while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed to me already, go ahead and do so. I really do appreciate all the subscriptions I've gotten so far. I think I'm up to 92. And that's awesome. I appreciate everyone's support. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.